Right now, there is something missing from your body. Not a finger, not a tooth, not an organ, a tail. And before you laugh, look around. Dogs have tails. Cats have tails. Squirrels have tails. Monkeys have tails. Lizards have tails. Even fish use tails. For hundreds of millions of years, tails were one of the most successful body parts on Earth. They helped animals balance, run, jump, climb, fight, escape. A tail wasn't a decoration. It was a survival tool, which makes one question incredibly strange. If tails were so useful, why don't humans have one? What happened? Why did our species lose a body part that worked perfectly well for millions of years? And here's the really creepy part. You once had one. Every person watching this video started life with a tail, a real tail, growing from their body, inside the womb. For a short period of time, you looked very different from the human you know today. But to understand why your tail disappeared, we need to travel back millions of years to a world where every one of your ancestors still had one. Imagine a giant forest 25 million years ago. Trees stretch in every direction. The ground below is dangerous. Predators are everywhere. If you fall, you might not get a second chance. Now imagine you're a monkey. You leap from one branch to another. You land. You turn. You jump again. Your tail swings behind you, helping you balance, helping you stay alive. A tail is like a built-in stabilizer. It's almost like having a fifth hand. So if tails were helping animals survive, why would evolution ever get rid of them? The answer begins with a very different kind of animal. An animal that was slowly becoming something new. An ape. Unlike monkeys, early apes started moving differently. Instead of running across branches, they spent more time hanging beneath them, swinging, climbing, pulling themselves upward. Their lives began revolving around powerful arms and flexible shoulders. Little by little, their bodies changed. Their arms grew stronger. Their shoulders became more mobile. Their style of movement became completely different. And something unexpected happened. The tail became less important. For millions of years, evolution had protected tails because animals needed them. Now, some animals didn't. And when evolution stops protecting something, strange things can happen because evolution isn't trying to make perfect creatures. It's simply removing what is no longer necessary. The stage was set. All it needed was one tiny mistake, one mutation, one accident hidden inside DNA. And that accident would change the future of every ape alive today, including you. Imagine a baby ape being born millions of years ago. At first glance, it looks normal, but hidden inside its DNA is a tiny mutation, a small change, the kind of change that happens all the time in nature. Most mutations disappear. Some are harmful. A few become useful. This one affected tail development. The baby's tail was shorter than normal, maybe much shorter, maybe almost gone. If this had happened to a monkey, it might have been a problem. But for these early apes, something surprising happened. Nothing. The ape survived. It climbed. It found food. It reproduced. Life continued because its tail was no longer essential. And once a trait stops being essential, evolution no longer fights to keep it. Generation after generation, tails became shorter, then shorter again, until eventually they disappeared completely. Or at least that's what it looked like, because your tail never truly vanished. It's still there right now, hidden inside your body. Place your hand at the very bottom of your spine. That small bone, that's your tailbone. Scientists call it the coccyx. Today it helps anchor muscles and ligaments. But originally, it was something else. It was the base of a tail, a fossil hidden inside a living human. Every single person has one. Think about how strange that is. Your body still carries evidence of a body part that disappeared millions of years ago. It's like finding the ruins of an ancient city beneath a modern skyscraper. The old structure is gone, but traces remain, and the coccyx is one of those traces, a message from your ancestors, a reminder that humans once looked looked very different. Now the story gets even stranger, because sometimes the past comes back. In rare cases, babies are born with tails. Real tails. Not fake ones. Not imaginary ones. Actual tails. Doctors have documented these cases for decades. Some are short. Some are surprisingly long, and every time it happens, scientists are reminded of something incredible. The instructions for building a tail still exist inside human DNA. They were never completely deleted. They were simply switched off, like an old computer program hidden deep inside the system. Imagine that. Millions of years after humans lost their tails, the blueprint is still there. For a long time, scientists didn't know exactly what caused the tail to disappear. Then they found a clue, a gene linked to tail development. A tiny change inside this genetic code may have helped ancient apes lose their tails. Let's imagine something. Tomorrow morning, you wake up with a tail. What changes? Almost everything. Chairs would need redesigning. Cars would need redesigning. Clothes would need redesigning. Sports would change. Dancing would change. Body language would change. Imagine trying to hide your emotions when your tail gives them away. Dogs do this all the time. You know when they're excited. You know when they're nervous. You know when they're scared. Humans might have been exactly the same. A tail could have become one of the most expressive parts of the body. It might have revealed feelings we try to hide. It might have changed relationships completely. And yet, despite losing such a useful body part, our species thrived. We built civilizations, crossed oceans, created technology, reached space, all without a tail. So why did humans lose their tails? Not because tails were bad, not because evolution wanted to improve us. The next time you see a dog wag its tail, or a monkey swing through the trees, remember something strange? You once had that body part too. Long before cities, long before language, long before history, your ancestors carried tails for millions of years. Humans didn't start at the top. We came from a long line of animals, and somewhere along that journey, we left our tails behind. But the evidence is still there, hidden inside every one of us.